We'll go in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hi everyone, meteorologist Chester Lampkin here. We are streaming live from the WUSA 9 app and from Facebook as well. We want to get right into it. We actually have a tornado warning now that was just issued over the last couple of minutes here for this severe thunderstorm north of Thurmont there in Frederick County, and it stretches on the US 15 corridor up to Emmitsburg. If you know anyone in that area, if you live in this part of Frederick County that stretches all the way up to the PA border, there is a tornado warning in your area for this possible tornadic storm that's moving through the area. Let me see if I can get you a better look at the radar here. And I want to show you where that possible severe thunderstorm is and where the possible tornado may be going. So we're going to switch the radar here to a different data source here, and we'll get Sterling on the map there. There we go. And I want to show you where this possible tornado is. So this is, again, in the Thurmont area, so just north of Thurmont. So Thurmont, you are not in the warning, but you are in the area. If you live north of town, along that 15 corridor, anywhere in these areas I'm about to mention, Emmitsburg, along Hampton Valley Road, over to Four Points Bridge Road, Keysville Road, and over to Bridgeport, or if you live in Keysville over there, to the east of town, east of Thurmont. This is a potential tornado moving through your area right now. So we're going to put this into motion here, and I'll show you the last, let's say, 15 minutes of the radar. And you can see this storm system continues to slide off to the east. It looks like it's moving pretty fast, too. Let me see if I can get the National Weather Service information here pulled up. Let's see. This tornado warning is radar indicated. It is moving east at 50 miles per hour. This is not a ground indicated tornado, but if you do see the tornado, if you are spotting this tornado, please relay that information to us. If you can do so safely using your phone, but more importantly, get into your safe space immediately. That's the basement or the ground floor level of your house, including areas like including an area like a basement, or if you don't have a basement, that first floor level. You want to get into that first floor level immediately and get to a bathroom or some sort of interior room that has no windows. You want to put as many walls between you and outside if you live in this area as this possible tornadic storm moves into your area. Again, this is in Frederick County. It's a small area, but still, if you live in north and east of Thurmont, along that US 15 corridor over to Maryland Route 76, Maryland Route 140, that corner there of Frederick County, and then moving off to the east, this possible tornadic storm here is moving quickly at 50 miles per hour as it moves through the area. Again, this is a possible tornado. This is radar indicated for the folks who live north and east of Thurmont there in Virginia. Let me see if I can put a storm track on there for you so you can see what's going on with this potential tornadic storm. And the leading edge of the storm would be right about here. So we're going to take it out a little further to the east here. And you can see if you live near Tom's Creek Church, the Keysville area, Harney, those areas east of Thurmont. So Thurmont not included. I know several thousand people live in that area, but north and east of town there, that's where the potential severe thunderstorm could be putting down a tornado. Again, moving east at 50 miles per hour. This is a fast-moving storm. It will not last long, but get in your safe space immediately. That includes basement, interior room with as many walls between you and outside there, just because of this potential severe thunderstorm that could be producing a tornado. Again, this is radar indicated from the National Weather Service, and this warning is until, I believe, 5 o'clock p.m. So it's a fast mover. It's not going to last a very long time, but there's the warning there. 5 o'clock is when this warning expires there, northeastern corner there of Frederick County in Maryland. So again, Thurmont is not included, but areas near Emmitsburg and what appears to be a town called Motters, or a little nook there along Maryland Route 76, is where this potential severe thunderstorm is going with a possible radar-indicated tornado. I want to take you out on a wide view here to kind of show you what's happening across the area. We have a line of potentially severe thunderstorms moving into our region right now. We have multiple warnings on these severe thunderstorms, so I'm going to put them up for you on the screen here. And we've got that tornado warning for that western part of Carroll County and into Frederick County as well. That warning, again, until 5 o'clock. It's a small area. It does not include Thurmont, but it does include areas north and east of town. So Thurmont's right about here. The possible tornado would probably be closer to the leading edge of this storm system. Radar coverage is not the best in this area. It's more than 100 miles away from the radar we're looking at. So it's the beam of the radar would be shooting a little bit higher, but this is radar indicated and would potentially be in this red box here. Again, that's until 5 o'clock here. If you live in Frederick County, north and east of Thurmont, I would get into your shelter immediately. Basement, interior room, like a bathroom. Get as many walls between you and the outside, and that's only for the next 15 minutes, and then you should be in the clear. If you live in the city of Frederick, you are under a severe thunderstorm warning right now, and then there's another warning to the south of you in Leesburg, Purcellville. You guys want to get ready for this potential severe thunderstorm as well, as this line of thunderstorms continues to move off to the east here. So Leesburg, Purcellville, Brunswick, your warnings until 5:15. You want to get into your shelter now. This is all radar indicated severe weather. Gusts to 50 miles per hour possible with some of these storms, just because the storms are moving so fast. They're moving off to the east so fast along this frontal boundary that's moving through the area. That could help produce those wind gusts. And it doesn't take much to lift up a car or a mobile home. So if you live in a mobile home, you want to get into a sturdy building, a shelter that is a sturdy building. Run over to the nearest gas station. Find a neighbor's house that is actually a house, not a mobile home, because mobile homes will not do well certainly in a tornadic situation, but possibly even in a wind-damaging situation like this. So this is the current situation. Multiple severe thunderstorm warnings. This one for Frederick, Loudoun, Montgomery County until 5:15. It includes you guys in Leesburg, up to Clarksburg, over to Brunswick as well, and Purcellville. A good chunk of Loudoun County here from Leesburg points to the north, over to the bridge to get over into Maryland. And then that other warning there in Frederick County, that severe thunderstorm warning, I'll have to double check the time on that, but I believe that is also until about 5:15. Let me double check here. And looks like 5:15. And looks like this other warning is going to get canceled, which is great news. So that severe thunderstorm warning is until 5:15 as well. So both of these warnings until 5:15 as we track these potentially severe thunderstorms across the area. Going back to that storm there near northeast of Thurmont, it's moving pretty quickly. So I would say it's already clearing the Emmitsburg area and clearing Motters. So I would venture a guess that you have another 5-10 minutes if you are listening to us from your shelter, and then you should be able to get out of your storm shelter very quickly. But if you live in places in Emmitsburg, I would stay in your shelter for at least 5 more minutes. Same with 4 Points and over to Bridgeport, and farther over to the east there, you could see some of the roads in those areas: Keysville Road, Sixes Bridge Road, and over to 4 Points Bridge Road. We have that possible tornado. The tornado warning is until 5 o'clock. 5 o'clock for you guys in this area here for that potential severe, that possible tornado that is moving to the east there at 50 miles per hour. And then on the wide view, you could see a little bit better here of some of the other storms that are kind of crossing through the area here. We've got these 2 warnings that are in effect until 5:15, and that is these 2 severe thunderstorm warnings here across a good chunk of Frederick County, and then the rest of Frederick County, northwestern parts of Montgomery County, and over into Loudoun County, you are under that warning. Okay, so it looks like the radar indicated tornado warning will continue. Again, that's until 5 o'clock. There's a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado based on radar imagery located near Taneytown or near Emmitsburg, and it is moving east at 50 miles per hour. So again, that's the storm we started you off with here this evening, that potential severe thunderstorm. This is, see that indicator right there? So that would be an indicator of a potential tornado in this area here. So this is the tornado warning. I'm going to move the map over just a little bit and a little bit closer in. So if we had a tornado it would, that little circle there, we call it a meso. Basically, it shows where there's a little bit of spin in the atmosphere, and that's what you need. You need a rotating wind to create these supercell thunderstorms that could produce these sorts of situations, a tornadic situation like this. So here it is, that warning again until 5 o'clock, western parts of Carroll County and eastern parts, northeastern Frederick County. So Emmitsburg, remember I told you guys will probably be clear. You've been cleared from the warning, so is Motters. You're not in it in Thurmont, but this little corner here up towards Bridgeport, right along Maryland 140, and along the Keysville Road and Four Points Bridge Road there in northeastern parts of Frederick County, that's where the warning is until 5 o'clock. And again, it looks like the radar indicated tornado may be in this area here on the radar. I haven't had a chance to look at the analysis myself, to look at the wind or some of the other factors that we look at, but this is from our computer system, and it's showing where that possible, what we call meso, would be there in that Keysville area from Bridgeport. So what's going to happen the rest of this afternoon into the evening hours? Well, we popped up to 70 here in D.C., so that's allowed the temperatures to really warm up. We're destabilizing the atmosphere. We have moisture. The dew point's up to 60, so it's muggy out there. So we have moisture, we have unstable air, and we have what we call lift. A lift is when you take air from the ground and you lift it up into the air. I mean, it's that simple, right? Seems kind of intuitive, and that's why we do that in meteorology. We call it lift. And lift is the ability to get the air to rise. And when you have rising air, that's when you can get stronger thunderstorms, in this case, along with the moisture and unstable air. And so this would be that line of severe weather. Our Futurecast has it at 4:30 here. So we're pretty close. We're pretty close. It's not perfect. It's 4:52 right now. You're watching us from this live stream. But there it is, okay? So from Westminster down through Leesburg, where there's currently a severe thunderstorm warning, getting into Montgomery County, where there's currently a severe thunderstorm warning, and then some stronger storms getting into Fauquier County down to Culpeper County. 5 o'clock, you see it's there. And then look at this. At 5:30, it's right over D.C. It's moved inside of the Beltway. So if you live anywhere in the D.C. metro, basically expect stronger thunderstorms between now and about 5:45, 6 o'clock. And these could produce damaging winds. There could even be an isolated tornado. It would be a low-end tornado, probably like an EF0, EF1 rated tornado. But that's still 50, 60, 70, 80 mile per hour winds. Still a very serious situation. So this is a good time to take those outdoor plans indoors. If you know anyone who is outside, doing something outside, whether they're just having an early dinner or they've been brunching all day, maybe the kids are out playing, maybe you're out running, jogging, riding the bike, tell them to come inside now, because over the next hour, hour and a half, here in Metro Washington, weather's going to get pretty nasty. We'll have those gusty winds, 40, 50, 60 mile per hour winds are possible. In addition to that, the tornado threat is there. It's a low-end threat, but is there. And a tornado would move very quickly through this environment, 50, 55 mile per hour speeds with these tornadoes. That's not the wind speed. That's the speed of the tornado itself. That's what we were seeing up there in Frederick County. So again, if you're in the metro, Montgomery County, Prince George's County, Arlington, Alexandria, D.C., the district, yes, Fairfax, Falls, Fairfax County, Loudoun County, Prince William County, take your outdoor activities indoors right now. Same down through Fauquier and Stafford County, just because right at 5:30, storms are going to be right over that 95 corridor, stretching from Baltimore through D.C. and south and west through the Fredericksburg area. So again, I'm Chester Lampkin. You're watching live coverage here on WUSA 9. We are streaming this live on our app and also on our Facebook page, just trying to get you ahead of the storms that are heading into Metro Washington right now. I'm going to take the Futurecast a little bit farther into the future, 6:30. It looks a little more disorganized. I think the line will hold together, and we're going to have to watch for the severe weather to be down towards Dunkirk, La Plata, St. Charles, over to Fredericksburg and Colonial Beach, the northern neck at that time. Southern Maryland, I think you get hit 6, 7, 8 o'clock. You can see down here towards Leonardtown, Mechanicsville, over to Patuxent River. You can see a few lingering storms, possibly in Anne Arundel County and Prince George's County, even at 7, 8 o'clock. And then by the time we get to about 8:30, 9 o'clock, things are starting to calm down across the area. And we'll be able to take a breather. It'll be colder. It'll be windy. There's actually a wind advisory in effect right now across the area. I want to get back to that severe thunderstorm warning that we had across the area. It does look like the tornado warning has been dropped. So that is really great news there. Goodbye. We don't need it. So let's check it out. Yep. Oh, no, it's still there. My apologies. But I think they're going to let it expire here, which is in 5 minutes. So let's see. A tornado warning remains in effect. Radar indicated. There's no confirmed tornado, but radar indicated. I think it's going to expire at 5 o'clock. That's the way things are looking. But the latest situation continues to be these severe thunderstorm warnings across the area here, and it covers a good chunk of Frederick County. Most of Frederick County is under a severe thunderstorm warning, and then, of course, the areas to the south of the city of Frederick, too, including you guys down through Buckystown, Luckett's, and over to Leesburg. Purcellville, you're just about on the backside of the front now, so I wouldn't worry too much about severe weather at this point if you live in Purcellville and out towards Brunswick and over to Harper's Ferry, Brunswick and Harper's Ferry, those areas there. You're on the backside of the worst of it now, so as this storm continues to move away, your concern the rest of this evening is going to be the wind. But if you live in Buckystown, the city of Frederick getting hit and hammered right now, Tuscarora, Luckett's, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, my apologies if I'm not. And then there's Leesburg there at the bottom of your screen. That is that severe thunderstorm warning that is coming your way. That strong line of thunderstorms could produce 50, 60 mile per hour wind gusts. The criteria for severe thunderstorm warning is 60 mile per hour wind. So this entire area here, still not including the warning Damascus and Germantown, but up to Clarksburg, you guys are just at the edge of it. Poolsville as well, and upper parts of Montgomery County, basically west of Germantown, north and west of Germantown, along that 270 corridor. So Fredericksburg over to Tuscarora right now. Tuscarora, my apologies, right now you guys are under that severe thunderstorm warning as the storms continue to strengthen and move across Metro Washington and get a little bit closer. So let's get in a little bit closer to Frederick. You can see the storms right on top of the city of Frederick as we speak, moving through downtown Frederick and headed towards Newmarket and Mount Airy, which you guys are also in the warning there. Those areas, Newmarket, no, my apologies, Mount Airy, you're just at the edge of that, so you're just barely in the warning. But Newmarket certainly is. And then we go a little further south towards down Route 15 here and over to the bridge across the Potomac. You can see you guys are getting hit really hard right now with gusty winds in this part of Frederick County and down into Loudoun County. And then the southern extent of this is over towards Leesburg, and you can see Hughesville, Waterford over to Leesburg. Leesburg is about to get hit with the worst of this in the next 10 minutes or so. So let's see if we could put a track on this and kind of give you an idea of what's happening with this line of thunderstorms as it continues to move to the south and east. And it's moving at a pretty good clip, I would say, probably close to 40, 50 miles per hour, this line of possibly severe thunderstorms. So we've extrapolated it out a little farther past where the warning is. I imagine that they're going to add the rest of Montgomery County to a new warning at some point. I wouldn't be surprised if that happened in the next few minutes here, so we can keep an eye on it. But if you live in these towns, Poolsville, we mentioned you guys, Westminster as well, not really in our area, our viewing area, but we may have a few of you guys streaming us live. Germantown and Hampstead, next 15 to 18 minutes. And then a little further south here on the list, a little further down the list, you can see Rockville here, right about there at 527. So that would include you guys into Gaithersburg, Olney, Damascus as well, and probably getting in towards parts of the Sterling section of Loudoun County too, as this line continues to slide off to the east. Again, both of these warnings, there's one here across the northern and central part of Frederick County. The other one covers the rest of Frederick and much of Loudoun County and parts of Montgomery County. Both of these warnings are until 5:15 for potential wind gusts 50, 60 miles per hour. And again, you get up to around 60 mile per hour winds, and that's severe weather, severe level winds here. So again, this is a line of possible strong to severe thunderstorms moving across Metro Washington, moving into the metro really over the next 10 minutes or so. I'm going to take just a second here to grab a quick drink of water because I've been doing a lot of talking over the last 15 minutes here. And let's see, we do have one storm report that's come in. Looks like we got a tree down in the 1300 block of River Road in Clark County in Virginia. So that's interesting to see that starting to get a little bit of wind damage reports across the area. So we're going to keep an eye on these storms as they continue to move across the region. In the meantime, I'm going to take you back to this tornado warning. It looks like the warning, it's on its last legs, if you will, here, which is great. Oh, and just like that, 5 o'clock, it hits and it's done. But you can see here, so the tornado warning has been canceled, which is great news. There is still a little meso indicator here, so I do kind of wonder if it's potential that we could see another warning. That would be outside of our area, but we'll keep an eye on it. In the meantime, we'll take you back to the wide view here so you can kind of see as this line of thunderstorms continues to move into Metro Washington. This is all associated with a cold front that is moving through the area here over the next few hours. And that cold front is producing these thunderstorms. That's what's giving us that final lift to bring some of that warm, moist air up into the atmosphere, and then it kind of curls around and it could rotate just a little bit. And that's what's creating some of the potential tornadic situation developing across the area here. No tornado warnings right now at 5 o'clock. We'll stay a little bit longer with you guys here on the live stream. We may take a little break depending on how vigorous this line is. It looks like the southern edge of it has kind of lost some of its energy here towards the Leesburg area. Still, if you live in Leesburg, I'd still take the outdoor activities indoors as soon as you can. Frederick, right on top of you guys, and then stretching off to the north and east towards Camp David, Westminster areas. You can see those storms moving through. If you live in Hagerstown, Martinsburg, Winchester, Romney, Cumberland, Frostburg, you're done with severe weather threat. No more severe weather threat. Now it's just going to be wind. Winds will gust 40, 50, 60 miles per hour. There's a wind advisory in effect. I'll show you that map here momentarily. Starting to flare up some storms, that northwestern corner there of Fauquier County. And this is, the Blue Ridge Mountains are right about here. And we always suspected that the worst of it would actually be east of the Blue Ridge. That includes us here in the metro. That's why we're concerned about severe thunderstorms. Last time I checked, there was still no severe thunderstorm watch across the area, so we'll keep an eye on that. But right now, the metro, mostly quiet, the exception being Loudoun County and into Frederick County, where we have that line of thunderstorms moving in right now. Some of those thunderstorms have produced radar-indicated tornadoes. Again, that's radar indicated, nothing on visual so far. No reports have come in so far of a visually spotted tornado. But this is something that needs to be watched as this line continues to move in. You can see that storm right over the Leesburg area. And actually, I'm going to go back. I want to go back down to there because it looks like there is what we call an early signal for a possible rotation here. Yeah, in that area just west of Leesburg. So I would just say, right now, certainly in Leesburg, with you guys being right in the heart of this nasty storm, winds gusting 40, 50, maybe up to 60 miles per hour. Again, batten down the hatches, take the patio furniture inside if it's not raining in your area. Get that done right now because it's coming down on you guys as we speak. I'm checking the National Weather Service to see if we have anything new, and we do. We actually now have a severe thunderstorm watch, and it has been issued for our area. Let's see what we can find from the National Weather Service. I don't have anything showing up on my maps just yet, but that is that sometimes there's a delay that comes in from our friends over there in the National Weather Service. So let's put that watch box on there, and it's not showing up yet. So give me a second here. We'll let it populate into our radar data and see what pops up here on our radar as we go through the balance of the next few hours. But a severe thunderstorm watch looks like has been issued for our region. It's until 1 o'clock Z, so I believe that is 8 p.m. Let's check it out here. 9 p.m., 9 o'clock. So we have a severe thunderstorm watch going into effect until 9 o'clock for parts of our area. I don't know what portion of the area is going to get the watch. It has not populated in my weather map system just yet, but we'll keep an eye on it. In the meantime, you are watching coverage here on the WUSA 9 Facebook page and on our app as well. If you're asking questions, by the way, I cannot see them. I do not see the Facebook live feed. So you're just going to have to bear with me. I'm going to try to cover all areas best I can as we go through our live stream here. I also want to go ahead and pop in that wind advisory so you guys can kind of see what's going on with that. And that is going to be showing up on your screen here in a moment. You see that wind advisory, which is in effect now for most of our West Virginia counties, Shenandoah Valley counties, and over into Western Maryland. And then it goes into effect for Metro Washington at 8 o'clock. And it says gusts up to 45, but there could be some gusts stronger, closer to 50 miles per hour with this as it moves through the area. So that's through this evening, and that includes all of Metro Washington except Charles County and parts of Fauquier County, south of Warrenton. Basically, you're not in the watch. Stafford County, you're also not in the advisory. My apologies, not watch, but advisory. And that's because winds this evening will gust up to 45 miles per hour as the severe thunderstorm situation continues to develop across the area. Still waiting on information on our severe thunderstorm watch. The counties have not been determined just yet by the National Weather Service. They know they're going to issue a watch, and it will go until 9 o'clock. So that's coming shortly. In the meantime, we do have a new severe thunderstorm warning, and I told you that we would get one, and it does include you guys into Montgomery County. So I'm going to pull the radar in a little bit closer to the county, into Montgomery County, and you can see that line of potentially severe thunderstorms moving into the area right now. Looks like it's just made it into Clarksburg and Poolesville. If it's not raining at your place yet, it is about to rain, and it's going to come down with vigor. I mean, there's going to be lots of energy with this system. Lots of wind, too. So quick downpour, gusty winds as this situation continues to develop here across Metro Washington. So there is that warning map until 5:45 for you guys in Montgomery County. It also includes our friends in Carroll, Baltimore County, and into Howard County, which technically is not an area we cover, but you may be watching us, you may be live streaming with us from those areas. There may be up to 1/4 inch hail here and 60 mile per hour wind gusts. Okay. All right, and I've got my director telling me some information here. That's good to know. I think we're good at the moment, but if you have any storm reports that you want to send to us, hashtag WUSA9Weather or tweet us. You can tweet the WUSA9 page. You can Facebook message us or post it on the WUSA9 Facebook page. You could also tag us on Instagram. Again, WUSA9. I'm also on all of those platforms. I will not see it right away, but if you want to email a photo to me, I will see that. clampkin at WUSA9.com. Again, that's clampkin, CLAMPKIN at WUSA9.com as we have severe weather rolling through. Okay, so again, meteorologist Chester Lampkin here, and we are looking at a severe thunderstorm warning that was just issued for us here in Montgomery County now. This is a new warning, and this is until 5:45, and this is a very populated corridor here, that tech corridor along 270. So if you live in Potomac, Darnestown, Germantown, Gaithersburg, Rockville, you guys are all in the warning. Only Laytonsville and over to Damascus, and even farther east here, all the way to 95 here. So where the Route 200 hits 95. This entire area is now under that warning, and that's for the potential of 3/4 inch hail and possibly 60 mile per hour wind gusts. The main gusts will be with the leading edge of this thunderstorm complex moving in now out of Frederick County, where Frederick County and parts of Loudoun County remain under a warning until 5:15. It's over Leesburg right now. It's just getting past the city of Frederick, and it's getting in towards Montgomery County now. So let me move the radar up just a little bit so you can see where the rain is falling now, and you can see where the worst of the weather is. And again, we've got Frederick there. I'm going to put Frederick just in the corner so I can see Frederick, so you guys can see the worst of it is just getting past you. But again, Poolesville and much of Upper Potomac, Leesburg, still getting hit hard right now with this line of thunderstorms that could potentially bring down some tree limbs, could certainly knock out power for a few people, and up into the Frederick area here. You can see all this is starting to get come in along that 270 corridor and east on 70 here out to Mount Airy. So again, if you live in Mount Airy, you are still in the warning. It's still yet to come towards your area, Damascus, Germantown here, Clarksburg area, Poolesville, and then areas east of Leesburg stretching along Virginia Route 7 all the way to the Sterling section of Loudoun County, you guys are under that severe thunderstorm warning again until 5:15 for Frederick and much of Loudoun County, until 5:45 in Montgomery County here in Maryland. That includes a good chunk of the metro, all the way down to Rockville and up to Olney as well, and over towards almost as far as Beltsville and Laurel. So you guys will probably be the next warning on the list should they decide to extend the warning here. 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts are possible with this line of thunderstorms. You can see right into Leesburg getting hit pretty hard. Purcellville, you're done. It'll be gusty this evening, but your severe weather threat is done. But over to Leesburg and Poolesville, you could see a little bit closer in here, you could see the severe thunderstorms pretty much right on your doorstep. It's getting into Poolesville right now. Winds are picking up in your area. Sterling, you're looking okay for now, but get ready for it next 10, 20 minutes. In fact, if you live in the Sterling area and over towards Dulles and Dulles Town Center, I would probably go ahead and prep for this severe weather to move into your area. No warning just yet for you guys. And then you can see this line of convection here on our Futurecast. It's almost right spot on. This is amazing how some of these high-resolution models can do with some of these lines of thunderstorms. So this has it at 5 o'clock. It's 5:11 right now. You see the positioning. This is almost right where it is as we speak. So continue to move in through the metro here, through the 5 o'clock hour. 5:30, look where it is, getting into the Beltway at this point, up and down the 95 corridor. And here, Fredericksburg up to Arlington, Alexandria, Washington, and over to Baltimore and areas to the north and east. We saw temperatures get up close to 70 degrees. So that's really warmed the atmosphere, it's primed the atmosphere. So even though it's cloudy, even though we had a cloudy and mostly cool day, we're warm enough. We've got the warm air. We've got moisture in place. Dew point has come up to 60 plus. And we've got the lift. The front is going to help lift up that air. So you lift up the air, you get lift, moisture, instability. You got the three ingredients for severe weather. That's what you need. Those are the three things. Textbook case right here of what we call linear convection, a line of thunderstorms that bubble up along a cold front. So behind it, the air, yeah, it's definitely a lot colder. Temperatures will be in the 50s tomorrow. It's around 60. Today we are in the 60s to 70s, and that's just that demarcation between here and there. That's where we get that front, and that's where we get that lift. So we lift up the moisture. Thunderstorms, they race upwards, and then eventually they hit the top of the atmosphere, they spread out. What happens is we get a little bit of turning in the atmosphere when you go from the ground all the way up. So with that turning, you can get rotation. And you get a rotating thunderstorm, you can get a tornado. You can get damaging winds. You can get downburst winds. And that's why we're concerned about wind damage, especially this evening here across Metro Washington. Look at this at 5:30. The model has the storms right over the metro, at the heart of D.C. at 5:30. All sections, northwest, northeast, southeast, southwest, Arlington, Alexandria, Falls Church, over to Lorton, over to Chantilly, everybody. The threat for severe thunderstorms next hour or two, all the way up into Baltimore County and Anne Arundel County and south over into the Fredericksburg and Spotsylvania areas. My apologies here. Through 5:30 this evening. So again, rotating thunderstorms could quickly produce a tornado, but more importantly, even though the tornado threat is there, I think the more widespread threat through this evening will be the damaging winds as this line of thunderstorms moves through. Now, 7 o'clock, I think the damaging wind threat is done with Metro Washington, but we still have it for you guys here down into Calvert County, Leonardtown, and St. Mary's County down through California, and King George County and much of the northern neck. Should be clear of Fredericksburg, should be clear of Alexandria, Arlington, and Fairfax by then, should be clear of Gaithersburg and Rockville and Leesburg by then, and Baltimore by 7 o'clock. And then we'll take you a little later, 8 o'clock, maybe some lingering showers and a few thunderstorms. I don't think these are severe anymore, and by the time we get to 9, 10, 11 o'clock tonight, there we go. Nice and dry and quiet. It'll be cold. It'll be windy as well. We have a wind advisory in effect for later this evening here in the metro. Rain amounts, there'll be a quick hit of a quarter, half inch or so. Some spots may even approach a quick inch depending on how long these thunderstorms hover over your neighborhood. But the idea is that they're quick hitting. They'll move through in a matter of an hour or even less for some, and they could bring damaging winds. That's why we have that in the higher threat here. Currently no tornado warnings, but tornadoes are possible with one or two of these storms. We already had a radar indicated tornado there. Frederick County, if you have any storm damage reports, relay them to us. We can send them over to the National Weather Service. You can even tweet us, WUSA9, tag us on Facebook or on Instagram. Email them to me, Chester Lampkin, clampkin at WUSA9.com. Let us know if you see any hail, tornado, or wind damage. Of course, take the pictures and videos safely if you can. Do not put yourself in harm just to get a good video. As much as we'd like to do that, it's not worth your life. All right, and there's that wind advisory I was telling you about. 8 to 4 in the metro. That's because gusts could be 45, maybe up to 50 miles per hour this evening and into the very early hours overnight tonight. Areas in West Virginia, if you're watching us from Western Maryland, West Virginia, and the Shenandoah, where the severe threat is done, you are already under the wind advisory at this time. So right now, you're under a wind advisory in those areas for that potential severe weather. Okay, I'm just going to communicate here to our web producer, Nick. If there's anything you need from me, give me a shout on Slack. That's one of the ways we communicate. I am checking out that watch map that has just come out, and it does include Metro Washington until 9 o'clock. I was telling you about that earlier. So again, a severe thunderstorm watch has been issued until 9 o'clock for our region, and it should show up on this map. There it is. Okay, so those yellow counties, that would be our severe thunderstorm watch until 9 o'clock tonight. I do believe the severe thunderstorms will be done before 9 o'clock. So let me show you this map, and then I'm going to toss it over to Charla here shortly. What are you going to tell us about?
Some of the Facebook comments, so maybe some questions that you can answer.
Okay, great. We'll do that here in just a moment. So let's get to this real quick. So if you live in these yellow counties, that includes the district, that includes Arlington, Alexandria, Fairfax, City of Fairfax, the County of Fairfax, and out to Fauquier County. You're under this severe thunderstorm watch until 9 o'clock. Montgomery, Prince George's, Charles, Calvert. You are not in the watch, curiously, in St. Mary's County, but I still think there's potential for severe weather there. And then our friends up to Baltimore. We have these 2 warnings that are in force here. This is actually one big warning now. It looks like the other warnings have been dropped. This is until 5:15 for you guys in Montgomery County. The southern part of this line over into Warrenton, right now, not severe. But I would still go indoors. Take your outdoor activities indoors. If you know someone who's outside right now, tell them come inside. This is not the time to be out in a potentially severe weather situation. That's including you guys in Fauquier, Prince William County, the Manassas area, Manassas Park, Fairfax County, Montgomery County, where you have a severe thunderstorm warning, and then into the district, Arlington, Alexandria. Okay, so we're going to talk Facebook comments. So I think I'm going to toss it over to Charla, and I'm just going to walk off screen. I'm still right here. So let's chat a little bit about anyone who has questions about this severe weather.
Okay, Chester, we have a lot of questions about Northern Virginia and kind of what specifically is going on right there and what they need to worry about for the next hour or so.
Right, so next hour and a half or so, this line of thunderstorms will continue to move to the east through Northern Virginia. So I spent a lot of time in Maryland, and that's because you guys in Maryland had the bulk of the warnings. We didn't have a lot of warnings for Northern Virginia. Loudoun County was the exception. Which is, I think that's mostly good news. The current line of thunderstorms moving through, I put it there on your screen, will move through these places over the next 20, 30 minutes or so. Warrenton, 522, that's in Fauquier County. Chantilly, almost 530. Rockville in Maryland, 536. Manassas, 537. Silver Spring, D.C. area, 548, 554. There's Alexandria there at 6 o'clock, so Arlington will probably be about 554 as well. And then down towards Lorton, I would say about 6 o'clock. Same with Alexandria, 6 o'clock. And down through Dale City, Triangle, and Woodbridge, probably about 6 to 6:05.
All right, we also have some questions about if anything has actually touched down, if a tornado has been spotted at all, and kind of explaining a little bit more about what a tornado warning means. Does that mean we've seen a funnel, is what some of the questions are?
Right. That's a great question. This, so far, from what I've seen from the National Weather Service, radar indicated only. There have been no reports of tornado touchdowns. We did have one tornado warning in Frederick and Carroll County in Maryland. That has long ago since expired, which is great news. We could potentially see a quick spin-up tornado in Metro Washington this evening, hence the severe thunderstorm watch, which is in force until 9 o'clock. It includes almost all of Northern Virginia, Metro Washington, all the Metro Washington counties, and all the Maryland counties from Montgomery County and to the east, except St. Mary's County. You guys are not in it. Neither are you guys in down into the northern neck of Virginia.
So you're talking about severe weather coming in the Washington area here in the next few hours. What can people expect in the next few hours or so for those living right here in D.C.? I know the wind really starting to pick up outside our studios right now.
Yeah, so that's actually part of it. The reason why these thunderstorms, which don't even have that much lightning with them, why they are getting severe thunderstorm warnings is because of the wind. The wind is part of the issue that we're seeing across the area. So let's go to the threats to show you what's happening, what we think the biggest threats will be this evening. And wind damage. Well, what happens with winds? Tree limbs down, entire trees could be knocked down. That could bring down some power lines, crush a couple cars, unfortunately. So you want to take extra precaution to stay inside your home in a safe space during a severe thunderstorm warning, and beware of possible falling tree limbs. That could also, as I mentioned, take out power lines. So in areas where there are above ground power lines, that is going to be a threat for some power outages over the next few hours. And I put that in the high category. That is our main threat. Our low end threat, a spin up tornado, which would create wind damage as well, and hail. Flood is not an issue unless you live in a really flood prone area. You know, some places, Charlotte, like they tend to always flood, even with a few downpours. If you live in that kind of area. Otherwise, we're not expecting rapid rises of creeks and rivers, flash flooding, or anything of that nature. This is mostly a wind event for the next couple of hours here.
And I know a big attraction right now in D.C., the cherry blossoms.
Yeah.
How will all of this wind affect the cherry blossoms? Will it affect them at all?
Yeah, we actually have a story about the impacts of the cherry blossoms for what's going to happen with the upcoming weather here across the region next few days on WUSA9.com. But the idea is that the winds are going to knock down a lot of these now bloomed blossoms. Basically, we're in a situation where we're at peak, you know, as of today, according to the National Weather Service. And that's specifically for the tidal basin. But even if you look around Metro Washington, a lot of the trees are at peak bloom. We have gusts right now in that 20, 30, 35 range. You got 35 there national. That's not great, but I don't think that's going to be all that bad. But once we get to gusts around 40, 45, look at Cumberland right now, where the wind advisory is already in effect. Gusts to 45 in Cumberland, gusts to 44 in Petersburg and West Virginia. That wind is going to be moving our way this evening. That's going to knock out a lot of these blossoms, unfortunately. So hoping it's not as bad as forecast this evening, so you have a chance to see some of these blossoms at peak tomorrow or perhaps heading into Tuesday. And then on top of that, later this week, which we detail on our website, temperatures are going to drop into the 20s and 30s. So we're going to have a freeze again, and that's probably going to knock out several other flowering blossoms across the area, which is unfortunate that the blossoms did peak so early. This is kind of early for them. Later in April would be better. But, you know, Mother Nature, we can't control what happens with that.
Well, and I know, you know, we're talking about the wind and obviously how it'll affect the cherry blossoms, but whenever we talk about high winds like this, it can also affect our power.
Yeah.
And we have some concerns, some Facebook comments, you know, wondering, should they be worried about their power being knocked out today?
Yeah, I think that's a fair worry. I think if you are in the severe thunderstorm watch area, maybe a good idea to charge your phone now just to keep it charged up just in case the power goes out. There are several severe thunderstorm, there have been several severe thunderstorm warnings. Currently, we only have the one that's on your screen right there up into Montgomery County. And for our friends up in Howard, Carroll, and Baltimore counties, that's because there could be wind gusts with this section of the storms here of up to 60 miles per hour. So again, wind gusts, the primary threat here this evening. We've been talking about this for the last couple of days. You see this line here in around Germantown and up towards Damascus in Montgomery County. This is all moving to the east, hence the warning all the way through much of Montgomery County. Rockville, Olney, Gaithersburg, get ready for it. And even almost to Laurel, not quite in Laurel, but almost to there. So that section there west of 95 in Montgomery County, there could be some really strong and possibly damaging winds. High-profile vehicles can get knocked over very easily. And again, tree limbs, we've had so much rain recently, it doesn't take much wind to take the tree limbs down. So we have the tree limbs and the trees that can come down in the thunderstorms next hour or so or two. And on top of that, we also have the wind gust threat for this evening that could take down some some tree limbs as well next couple of hours.
And we're seeing some people offering advice on Facebook too. Bring out the candles. Always
go.
good advice. And
Yes.
as Chester said, charge your phone. So we've been on for a little while now. Chester came on the air, probably it's been about 45 minutes ago since that tornado warning. But that tornado warning has expired. So now we are just under a severe thunderstorm warning, which could continue well into the evening. And we will continue to keep you informed because, as you said, Chester, these storms, they're just going to continue blowing across our area, blowing across and into D.C. Right now, we're seeing a lot of heavy wind. I'm seeing on Facebook, a lot of you posting about heavy wind in Northwest D.C., which is actually where our studios are. And we're with you. We can hear the wind. And of course, when I was driving into work, I could see a lot of, unfortunately, those cherry blossoms blowing right off of those trees. I know we don't want to see it just yet because they're so beautiful out there right now. But please stay safe. Please do not head outside. Please stay indoors. We've given you a lot of tips and a lot of things to be concerned about. But again, we just are trying to keep you safe while we have these severe storms. Chester, I think I'm going to give you a quick break. We're going to take a quick break here, but if we have any more tornado warnings, of course, we will be back here on Facebook Live, back on our air. And of course, as these severe thunderstorm watches and warnings continue, we will continue to keep you informed. Thanks so much, guys.